Welcome back to What's That Diet, the show where we explore the latest and greatest diets of the decade. I'm your host Monica, and on today's episode, we will be talking about brain health and the mind diet, where dark leafy greens, nuts, fish, and berries can act as power foods for the brain, reducing your risk of developing Alzheimer's. If you're a mother, father, grandfather, or grandmother, or just any adult hoping for a healthier brain in the future, this is a diet for you. I will be showing you how to create a delicious arugula salad topped with fresh fruits and tuna. You'll be also needing a salad spinner for the lettuce and a little jar with a lid so I can show you how to make a quick and easy raspberry vinaigrette. Before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the brain. Naturally, as humans, we all age, and with aging, the brain goes through many changes that can affect our memory and learning. Depending on how rapid and how much change occurs, this can affect your risk of developing Alzheimer's and dementia. And this is why we have the MIND diet, which stands for the Mediterranean Diet Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. Quite a mouthful, right? With this diet, eating certain kinds of food can help preserve brain function and reduce your risk of dementia, including whole grains, beans or legumes, nuts, berries, fish, olive oil, dark leafy greens, other vegetables, and moderate amounts of wine and poultry can help the brain by supplying it with the right nutrients. It also says that we should limit amounts of red meat, cheeses, fast food, pastries, and butter because they contain harmful fats called saturated fats. And we don't want a lot of these in our bodies because they can have negative effects on the structure of our brain. So for today's recipe, we will be incorporating 6 of the categories to create our brain-boosting salad. Before we start, let's wash our hands with some warm soap and water. Remember to scrub for at least 30 seconds and get in between all those nooks and crannies, and also under your fingernails. Once you're done, let's get cooking. So right here I have my mise en place, which is a fancy French word meaning I have all my ingredients prepped and ready in front of me. You will need a half cup of chickpeas, and you can just get them canned. Make sure you drain the liquid and rinse them with cold water. You'll also need 1 can of tuna. Right here I have about 120 grams, and this is the flake light tuna with low sodium and water. You will also need 1 cup of strawberries, 2 tablespoons of chopped walnuts, a half cup of cherry tomatoes, and about 100 grams of arugula or 5 cups. For the dressing, you'll need a 3/4 cup of raspberries, half a tablespoon of sugar, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, an 1/8 cup of red wine vinegar, and a pinch of salt and pepper. For the fruits and vegetables, make sure you wash them with cold water to remove any dirt. So first we'll be chopping the tomatoes and strawberries. Make sure you're careful with the sharp edge of the knife. For the strawberries, we're going to remove the stem by cutting the top off, putting it the flat side down, and slicing it 3 to 4 times lengthwise into several pieces as so. And the MIND diet is unique because it emphasizes berries, which contain anthocyanidins. And these compounds give their berries their blue, red, or purplish pigments. But there are also antioxidants, which prevent the cells in your brain from dying and help improve memory function. And for the cherry tomatoes, we're going to do the same. We're going to slice from top to bottom as so. And these may be small, but they're packed with nutrients and also an excellent source of vitamin A and vitamin C. Now we'll be moving on for the arugula. I've already washed it with water and shook off the excess, but there's still some water attached to the leaves. And this can make your salad soggy or dilute the flavors to your dressing. To fix this, we're going to use a salad spinner today. And it's quite simple. It comes in 3 parts: the lid with the spinner, the basket for the leaves, and the container for the excess water. All you're going to do is put the leaves into the basket, put the lid on, and spin it. So by including dark leafy greens in our salad, we're supplying our bodies with sources of lutein, vitamin A, vitamin K, and folate, which are all important for the brain. It has been found that eating 2 or more servings of greens has signs of a healthier brain, as if you were 5 years younger. So after a couple seconds, take your lettuce out, and there you have it, perfectly dried lettuce. Now let's put our salad together. We're going to top it off with the tomatoes, the strawberries, and the chickpeas. And these provide a great source of protein and fiber. And we're going to sprinkle on top the chopped walnuts and the tuna. And these are great sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which are healthy fats found commonly in the brain. Research on the Mind diet showed that having at least one or more servings of fish reduces your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 60%. And the great part of making a salad is that you can substitute any of the ingredients with fruits and vegetables you enjoy. The important thing is including these plant-based products into your diet, along with some fish, legumes, and nuts. So for the dressing, we're going to make a raspberry vinaigrette. But if you like to keep it simple, some olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and pepper, that would be perfect for the salad. So first I'm going to mix the raspberries and the sugar together. Just mix it up. And then we're going to set that aside for about 10 minutes. Our little container, we're going to pour in the olive oil and the vinegar. So you can see here the oil and vinegar separate into two different layers, and this is because of their different chemical properties. So the secret to preventing our ingredients from separating is adding an emulsifier. What's that? So an emulsifier is a product that has both water-loving and water-hating properties. So it'll help the oil and vinegar mix together. So today we have our Dijon mustard. We're going to add half a tablespoon of that into our mixture. We'll add a pinch of salt and pepper. And then back to our raspberries. Once they've been sitting for at least 10 minutes, they'll be nice and juicy. Just use a fork and mush them up. Just add them into our oil and vinegar mixture. And then just pop on the lid and shake. You can do a little dance, put on some music. And there you have it, a perfectly mixed berry balsamic vinaigrette. Now all that's left to do is to pour on the dressing. And there you have it, a brain healthy meal. And this recipe makes about 2 to 3 servings depending on the portion. So, what's the verdict? Is this diet as great as it sounds? Absolutely. It includes many different ingredients that are versatile and can be used in any recipe. By including them in our meals every day can have a beneficial effect on our brains. The foods that we eat affect our minds and our future as older adults. Including some nuts, leafy greens, fish, or olive oil can fend off Alzheimer's but also keep your brain healthy for life. Thanks for watching What's That Diet, and see you all next week.